on the second occasion. So if he has a good lawyer, that lawyer will probably try to make a great argument for him and not getting convicted of anything. But I think the fact that he stood over the guys and he pistol whipped them, I think that's going to be a problem.
What about the fact that the second brother did not hit him, but he still shot him and pistol whipped him?
Well, I think that because he had chased him before, they were brothers, and this individual is with the guy, and he's a threat too because he's the guy's brother. He's with the guy. He's chased me before. He's probably going to try to do something to me again because of that initial altercation. The guy did chase him before, so he will probably be right to attack both of them because he can consider both of them one. You know what I mean?
Right. When it's a case of multiple actors against you, does that play a major part as well?
Definitely, because you can't, like, I mean, you may be a great fighter, but it's going to be hard to whoop 3 or 4 guys by yourself, even if you're a boxer. In addition to that, if you're smaller and they're bigger than you, that's going to play a factor in this too. I want you to think about this. That guy's smaller than both of the guys, and one guy's really bigger than him. So all those things are going to be taken into account. In addition to that, you got somebody bigger than you who also threw the first punch on 2 occasions. So that's of high concern.
Okay, very good. I think we're almost at the end of the video.
And Hernandez posted $5,000 bond. John, he's due in court here on August 26th.
You notice they set the bond low, right?
Yes.
They set the bond low. They didn't set the bond that high because they felt like, based on what had happened to him earlier that day, that he probably wouldn't have committed this crime if them guys wouldn't have been going at him like they did. I think that they're going to be in trouble. I think anybody looking at this case and those videos are going to see that these guys were ultra aggressive toward him and that they attacked him on 2 occasions. Now, to me, okay, I get that. Even if you shoot him in the gas station, I even get that too. But to stand over them and shoot them multiple times and pistol whip them, I think that's where he went too far. And I think that that should be at least in an involuntary manslaughter situation there.
Have you ever represented someone with a similar case?
I actually have. It's crazy. Well, she didn't actually have to shoot anybody, but she got charged with several aggravated assaults. There was a lady. Her baby dad was a bouncer at a nightclub. She went to ask him about school clothes money. He proceeded to have a girl that he was dating try to come out and fight her. And she was good at fighting. So she was really fighting the girl off. The girl's boyfriend saw her losing. So both of them start fighting her. And because my client could really fight, she was getting both of them. And then his friend and the girlfriend of his girlfriend. So it ended up being 4 or 5 on 1. And she tried to retreat. And she ended up getting to her car, pulling her weapon and pointing it at all 5 of the individuals. She actually shot 1 bullet. She didn't hit anybody, but it was a situation where we took her to a jury trial and she got found not guilty because these other folks were the aggressors. And there was multiple people on one person. So even though they didn't have a gun, they didn't have a weapon, she was allowed to use a weapon because you had 4 or 5 people trying to fight one. So anytime you have numbers, you can actually use weapons. You can use more force to protect yourself because in your mind, you're like, it's more than one person. I'm not just fighting one person. And all of these people are coming after me. So we were able to take that to full jury trial. They tried her for 3 cases of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. And we got not guilties on all 3 and only took the jury about 10 minutes.
Is there any argument that may come out of this case that we just watched, being that he brought a gun into the store and that's where he fired on him and not at his car?
No, he might have had a gun on him the first time. We don't know that. In addition to that, now you can carry guns. I think Missouri, as well as Texas and these places are now where it's open carry. You can carry into stores. You can carry wherever you're at. But I think that's probably, he may have even had the gun the first time. Probably didn't want to pull it because they were at his truck and his child was around. But when he went in the store and the guy punched him again, that's where he probably pulled his weapon and shot him. And then I think if he had to go into the store, I would have just left. But if he even had to go into the store, he may have been justified in having his weapon with him. I think that's the concern that I would have if I was prosecuting this case, is because of the previous altercation of these guys beating up a guy that's smaller than them, and then addition to that, that they were the aggressors. Not saying that they had to lose their life because of that, but when you punch people randomly and you're bigger than them, and it's 2-on-1, and you do it again. In today's world, we have to make the assumption that people are packing and carrying guns and anything can happen. And so people are not going to take kindly to that, especially when you're bigger than they are. So that's what we got to think about.
Do you think there's a possibility he'll get a lot of time for this, or not really?
Nah, I don't think he's going to get a lot of time. I think a jury is going to be sympathetic to him. Even if they convict him, I don't see them giving him a lot of time for this because of the two attacks and the way that everything happened.
Okay. All right. Very good. So I'm going to turn it over to DJ Genesis to bring up guests. Anyone who has questions now, feel free to come up, and we'll start off with number one.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing? I see you got your little mask on today.
Yes, I was live a few minutes ago, and I said I cannot miss the chance of coming to speak to Calvin and also Mel.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing, Mel?
I'm okay. I'm doing good.
Good. How you doing, Calvin? You looking at me good this time? I said, "Ooh,
hey man, listen, hey man, I love that. That mask is unique. We went to a masquerade party last year, and so we had to have masks. So it's a nice mask. I mean, you can actually use that at a masquerade party.
You know what? I said, I'll just come on up and be at the masquerade party right now. I don't do nothing but talk so much. But you know what, Calvin, I wanted to ask you a question, because I know just now it kind of struck me when you said, you know, you guys were talking about the case, and you said that it's only so much that people are going to take, because it's like you beat them up and you beat them up. It's only so much that people are going to take. Remember you said that a few minutes ago?
Oh, definitely.
So it kind of took me back. I'm like, you know what? Then I think Calvin to understand when I say that sometimes you could beat people up so much and they just can't take it anymore. And I think for me, it seems like, again, that's what's going on with this Republican versus Trump versus back to the redirecting and stuff like that. It seems like the people are to a point where they can't take it anymore. And it seems like they're pressing decisions to want to go red instead of go blue. You think it's because of that? Like, because I'm noticing with the protesting, it's not that many people showing up these days, except maybe the illegals that shouldn't be here anyway. But the Democrats,
I think it's more of a situation where I think that the Democrats have their problem is that they have lost the ability to advocate for normal folks.
Right, there you go.
And I think that's where the problem is. But with that being said, we got to be very careful about how we do things. Right. Even when the Republicans, when you're in control, because who knows how the wind blows? Maybe 6-8 years from now, the blue could be in, and we don't want them doing some of the things that the Reds are doing right now. But I do think there is going to be a backlash against the Democratic Party, is because, and I tell people this all the time, some people are going to get mad at me, they went too damn far left.
Yep.
I mean, normal folks ain't with all that stuff that they're doing over there. I mean, look, I'm a man, I got a wife and a kid, and I don't want the schools talking to my child about certain things. I don't want my daughter being at a disadvantage if she's on some sports team. I don't want to have to worry about what name I'm calling somebody, this and that. My attitude is that's not something that schools should really be focused on. They need to be focused on educating people.
Right.
So there are a number of issues that I think that I think Black people in general, especially the ones that are 45 and above, 50 and above, they tend to lean somewhat conservative in terms of some of those values. And I think that the Democratic tent is going to have to decide how far left they're willing to go. And I think that there needs to be a course correction. The Democratic Party needs to understand that they need to have the ability to advocate for regular folks. Now, I always tell people, I don't think either one of these political parties are 100% for us.
Right.
But I also understand that you have to vote the other way to make one side correct what they're doing. And I can definitely understand that, but I think that we have to be careful as well, because there is a wing of that Republican Party that don't like us, and we need to be very careful when we go over there too much. And we need to We need to make either side earn our vote. And when we're over there, we need to be respected, whether what side, the Republican or Democrats. They need to earn our vote. And as people, as African Americans, we really start to have to look and see what's best for us.
Right.
Some of the stuff that's far left is not best for us. And we need to understand that and course correct. And that's just my attitude.
Right. And you know what, Calvin, I'm going to take you back on that too, because I do agree with you. And I feel like the ones that didn't cross over yet, I wonder, are those the ones that are more fearful because they didn't cross over? Because when I look at the overall synopsis of this situation, I see that there's more blacks that's actually the ones that's crossing over. So you are saying, do you think that it's the blacks that may be not knowing the decisions that they want to make? Or do you think they may have been so fed up and tired and that they understand that maybe at this time in our life, red, you have to take the emotions off the table and just follow what you think is right? And do you think that's why so many blacks right now, Americans, because them Africans say they're not us, they're not like us. And I want to be clear, but do you think that's why so many black Americans, take everybody else off the table? What about black Americans? You think is that why they have crossed over so much now, especially in the younger generation?
I think that they have crossed over, number one, but I also think that there are a number of things at play. There's been a de-emphasis of history. And I think that we do need to understand our history so that we don't repeat it. I'm no fool. I think that there are parts of the Republican Party that are not for us. And I think there's a whole wing of folks over there that do not care about us. Listen, this is not my first time having a show. I spent some time on conservative talk radio, being kind of a middle of the road conservative Democrat on a show. So I kind of understand that you got to be careful about how far you go over there. But I do understand the plight of African Americans and some of us looking at the Democratic Party and say, I don't know what the hell they're doing over there, but they went too far. They're supporting things that are not going to make us better as a people. And I definitely understand that. But the ones that don't go, that decide to stay on the Democratic side, you can't criticize them because they have their reasons.
But wait, Calvin. See, then you went over there, and then now you making me have to go back on what something you just said. You said that the folks not gonna take stuff like that when they see things happening, they see things going on, and folks don't want to take stuff like that. So you trying to tell me, Calvin, that at the round towards the end of Clinton term and Obama getting in office and not truly having ties and connections to the United States, you're not telling me that Obama, Clinton, and Biden them did not know and they did not see the snowball effect of illegal immigrants? Let's just start right there first. They did not see the snowball effect. They've been in office for the last 24 years, -4 with Trump that shook the things up. Everybody know about him because he had to wake everybody up. You don't think that they knew that these illegals was coming in?
Yeah, that's why they did know. Money. But remember, we're gonna talk numbers. Remember, Obama deported more people than Trump, Biden, and Clinton. And Queen, hold on. Let's be real. You already saw the numbers. We already had a show. You saw the numbers now. So let's be honest. Don't go after that man and knowing that the numbers were there that support him deporting more people. I mean, it is what it is. The numbers are the numbers. You can't argue that.
So how many got in? Where did they come from? On whose turn did they come in on?
Probably. I'm telling. They probably came in more here recently with Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. They seem to let people walk over here. I mean, I think that's kind of what that was, because let's be honest, especially in Texas, there was a time that the Texans and the Republicans in Texas benefited also from this immigration because they had some people come pick these fields and do our agriculture down here and do some of the menial jobs that nobody else wanted to do. So let's be honest about that. Now, in terms of Biden,
on all of them.
But on Biden, and when it comes to Biden and Kamala Harris, to me, they really let this thing get out of control. But I think
should they be charged with treason?
No, they shouldn't be, because as a whole,
they knew it.
Because as a whole, let me finish to answer my question. As a whole, the Republican Party also knows that they didn't want to do anything about immigration because they knew that they could use it to be able to do what they're doing now. See, I'm not like most people. I'm not heavy red. I'm not heavy blue. I'm an independent thinker. I'm an independent thinker, which means I'm going to call a spade a spade. If I'm the Republican Party and I know that immigration is something that I can win on, I may if I'm in control of Congress, I might not do anything either, because I can point to the Democrats and say, we just gonna let that happen. But that's just kind of where it's at. And at the same time, what can you do? But at the same time, I'm no fool. I wouldn't have, if I'm Biden and Kamala Harris, I wouldn't have let folks just walk over here and then let the amount of money, resources, and trouble that came from that happening to happen. But when it comes to Obama and people saying treason and all that, now that's Trump talk. That's him trying to use his power to go after somebody. And I think that that's what we got to be careful about. We want people to be in control when they're president, but to air your grievances against somebody just because you don't like them is something you shouldn't be doing, especially when he even deported more people than you did the first time you were there. So that's what you got to be careful about.
But Trump is getting way more turnout from Black people. Calvin, is what my main point is. So he's getting more turnout from Black people, so you don't feel like these Black Americans, not Africans, y'all, because y'all get twisted when we say that. You don't think that these Black Americans that are crossing over to Republican aren't the ones that's actually waking up and understanding that Republicans was way, way, way back in the days as well. And maybe the new Democrat is the new Republican.
I think what is happening is people that are crossing the road are saying, hey, I'm not for what is happening right now. The Democratic Party is not focusing on us enough. We don't like the immigration policy. We don't like what they're doing. We don't like the fact that they're focusing on all of those other groups and not us. And let's be honest, the African-American men still vote 80% Democrat. The African-American women still vote 90% Democrat. I think what you see in this particular situation is that African-American men and women, and especially when it comes to African-American men like myself, we're going to say, hey, look, you are going to pay attention to us. You're not going to tell us to wait until whenever. In addition to that, as men, we want to make sure that we protect our families. We want to make sure that we have jobs so we can make money to protect our families. And as men, we're not with some of the stuff that goes far left, because let's be honest, some of the policies that are being pushed are not going to lead to more Black babies being born. And I'm not here to argue abortion and LGBT, but if those situations do not create babies being born. And so when you think about that, as African Americans, should we be advocating situations that are not going to have more of us being born? And those are things that people think about. And then you got African Americans who are religious, and they say that based on their religious beliefs, based on some of the policies that the Democratic Party is pushing, that they can't get with those things for religious reasons, because we typically can be more conservative, especially when we get older. And see, we got Baba down here, and so I want to ask him a question actually about something that, and I'm glad he's here because I definitely wanted to ask him a question. Baba, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Calvin, how you doing today, bro?
I'm doing fine. What I wanted to know that is, as a person of faith, how and this is a hot question. When it comes to the Democratic Party with LGBTQ and abortion, I always wanted to know how do people that are religious, how do they deal with that particular issue?
Okay, that's a very hot and sticky subject, especially being in the ministry as long as I was, and we've discussed it in many settings in the clergy. And the thing about that is, and I want you to hear me out, because this has been a problem. The LBG, well, we call them the alphabet people. Okay, first and foremost, can you control nature? As we individuals, can we control nature?
I don't think we can.
Okay, no. And there are certain things in the world that the Bible don't even address.
Nope.
And that's a thing called hermaphrodite. Okay. True. There are people born with both genitals. They had nothing to do with it. It had to do with the chromosomes. We have no right trying to go and determine about people's natural sexuality when we have no control over it. You understand?
Populate on
And
its
the
own.
church, and the church is wrong for trying to demonize something that it cannot alter or change. That is scripture in the Bible says, where there is no law, sin is not imputed. And there are no laws to cover all that. A lot of that is prejudice concept. These are people, they are alive, they are souls, and it says, judge ye not. We sit around judging, creating things and creating problems for people that we cannot change. This is why I love the thing called serenity prayer. And let me say this: give me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change that I can't, and give me the wisdom to know how. You can't change these folks because there's an imbalance. You call it imbalance. Where did you get your degree to say what it is? People are, do you know that people are born with tails? They're actually born with tails.
And that's why I wanted. That's why I wanted to ask this question. And the reason why I asked that question is because a lot of people don't want to address it. And believe me, I want to be, I'm going to be fair to anybody. I'm not prejudiced against anybody. I have friends that are gay. There's a lawyer that I work with on a daily basis, and she is trans. And so I want those people to be treated fairly and to be treated normally. I have no issue with them. I just always wanted to know that and when it comes to people of faith, how you guys are dealing with that.
Well, my thing is this: do they live and die like we do?
Right.
Do they not suffer the same thing that we do?
Yep.
Yes.
What gives the authority to tell them, man, what he can and cannot be? There's like you call it imbalance, but where'd you get your degree in biology to tell me what I can be? As a man thinketh, so is he. We got to let everything do what it do and respect it for what it is.
And I want
to and as a minister of 40, I had to learn because I put everybody in here. Everybody that has no control. You got children that are born in the world that has these feminine tendencies or masculine. We call them tomboys back in the day, and this, that, and the other. But these labels, something we've done to divide the people. Okay, that is not fair. As a minister myself ordained, I had to learn that everything, when it comes to nature and the creator, if you don't run it, you can't change it. You have no right to judge it. But we'll do things because of our own insecurities and our phobias. You understand?
Okay.
Wrong. Yeah, and our misunderstanding. You don't know why people are the way they are or what came on, because these are a lot of reborn spirits that come in the world. And we have to realize, and I appreciate that, Calvin, because I fought that for 15 years. I mean, I laid them out, man. I put them on fire and brimstone until one day the Spirit woke me up and says, can you change nature? What do you know about nature? Another thing, what gives you the right to tell a person what they can and cannot be? What's going on in their head? And what we run into a lot of time is the thing called the hypothalamus gland. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with that, right?
Yes.
Okay. And that determines a lot of things, but then too, it depends what society say. And we've caused more damage to these people than we've done good.
Great answer. Let me tell you what I want to do, because I want to make sure that we keep engaging people. That's exactly the answer. I'm glad that you gave it to us and you broke it down to us. I want people to ask questions, and we want to be able to answer their questions, because I want to keep these people engaged, especially people that are watching this channel. Like the question I just asked Baba, he broke it down for us. We want those questions to be answered. And if you have other questions, well, number one, we want y'all to hit the likes. In addition to that, if you have questions, right now we want to start questions because we're in about the last 20 to 25 minutes of our show. And if you have comments or questions, go ahead and make those comments and questions right now, and we'll deal with them. Genesis, do you see anybody that has asked questions in the comment section that we could answer? What do you got? I guess she didn't hear us. Okay.
All right, I'll jump in. So
jump in, Mel.
Jerry says so many black people love to play the race card if someone disagrees with them.
I think what you got some people that do that, but let's be honest. There's reasons for black people feeling the way they feel based on how they ended up here and based on how some of the treatment that they endure in this country. I'm not saying that it's always racism, because I'm the type person, I don't care what another race or person is doing. I'm more concerned about what I'm doing and what my people are doing to us, right? So my whole deal is this on us. So I don't feel like another race of people control whether I'm going to be successful or not. There are some folks that take it to that level. However, let's not act like that some white people have not impeded black people from progressing, and that some of them don't particularly care for us, and they will be racist, and they will incur racist policies to make sure that certain things don't happen for us. That's not everybody. That's just some folks. It ain't everybody, because I know some good folks that are white, that are not like that, that are fair to everybody. And I can't say every white person or every black person is a particular way, but let's not act like that doesn't cut both ways. There's some black folks that do not care for white folks at all in any situation, and there's some white folks who don't care for black folks at all in any situations. But as an African American myself, I feel like us as a people, we have to focus on more on what we control, as worried about trying to control what somebody else is going to do, because we can't change or control them. We need to first work on what we can do for ourselves, so that we can solve a lot of our problems. Probably about 70-80% of our own problems we can fix on our own if we just start making better decisions.
Okay, so Calvin, I just want to address what you said. It's rare that I answer something anyway. And also, Bob, I want to address what your counter. So as far as the gay or homosexuality in the Bible, it's very clear that it's an abomination for a man to lie with a man or homosexuality. But when you look at the Pope, right, who sets the standard across the board, typically for most religions, most people will say, oh, well, we don't follow the Pope. But in honesty, I think a lot of people do quote the Pope. And the Pope says, hey, a person is born the way that they're born, which is a contradiction to what you read in text in the Bible. So I just wanted to add that to the discussion. All right.
You asking me, or you putting it out
No,
there?
no, I'm putting it out there that's where
Well,
it's coming from, because the scriptures are clear. Right?
Okay, but remember this: the scriptures is 85% opinions of other people. They does not deal directly with nature. That's men's writing and interpretation, transliteration. You know, I heard what you just saying, but at the same time, how many men understand the birth process when when a child is conceived? What's the first 14 weeks? What is it? And as it mature, what is it? The Bible don't give you the breakdown. See, the Bible itself has got a lot of folks mixed up, because to me, it's a lot of men's opinions about what they think a thing ought to be. Okay, we say, well, homosexuality. Where did it, and what is homosexuality? You know, where did the word come from? And what does it really mean? Because there's places in the Bible where the Bible says it'll be two men laying in the bed, I'll take one and leave one. There's one prayer Bible says, reach your brother with a holy kiss. There are a lot of things in there that we look at and say, wait a minute. There'll be two men in the bed, I'll take one and leave one. Two women in the bed, take one and leave one. See, so a lot of times we get caught in religion and not spirituality. And that's the problem. Most religion has these books that are written by men, and they're mostly, I call them their opinions, and they're not really holy. It's based on the time they're in and where they are at that time. But we can't make everything fit that now, because there were times we didn't have people. We didn't have clone people. We got clones. We didn't have what you call the test tube babies. We got all kind of folks on this planet now. You know, and determine what there is. It says, be careful how you entertain strangers, but some have been changed angels unaware. You don't know what you're dealing with. And to go around trying to relate with people, that's tricky, because every religion, be it Christianity, Islam, all of them, they got these books. They're written by men who claim to be prophets, but these mostly are opinions of that individual. You know, and Paul said, I would all men with as me have never touched a woman. Now, name them man ain't touched a woman.
The other part of sometimes what I see, and I try to tell people this, I think that sometimes especially when it comes to being in public office, and it comes to trying to tell people what they can and can't do, I can believe something and then not force it on you.
Right.
My feel is that if something is wrong, it's wrong, and I'm gonna call it wrong. However, you may think that I'm wrong in saying it's wrong, and that's fine. But I'm not going to push my ideology on you to say that you're living wrong. The problem that I also have, though, is some on the left are starting to push what they believe onto everybody else, and then that's where you're having a problem. Especially, I
Right.
think that with and I have this conversation with a lot of men, especially our African American men. They're saying, "Look, we okay, do what you want to do there, but at the same time, you can't push what you think and what you believe on us and inconvenience us, and not to consider us." And I think when we talk about that globally, when I say globally, I think
Right.
that idea is actually causing us a problem. When I say it's causing us a problem, because there are a lot of people in this country and that are starting to vote. Yeah, I would say vote more. Let's say vote more red, because they feel like the people in blue and the people on the far left are basically forcing you and making you feel a particular way or say a particular thing, and they're not giving you the freedom to feel how you feel about it. And there's some things in the Democratic Party that you're not even allowed to talk about, or they're going to banish you. And I think that's a problem. And so that's why I think that we have a problem all the way around when it comes to the Democratic Party. That's why they're starting to lose. That's why they've lost these offices. And if they don't correct what they're doing, they're going to have a problem. And when it comes to religion, there are going to be people who feel like Baba feels, and then there are going to be people who are more traditionalists that feel the complete opposite. My attitude is, to me, if you're going to come to God, I want you to come on your own. I'm going to tell you about him. I want you to come. I'm not going to force it on you, because if I'm forcing it on you, you're really not coming to God. You're not going to stay with him. But that's just my attitude toward everything. But at the same time, we got to be extremely careful when we start talking about those things, because right now, I mean, there's a lot of people that will tell you that because church has become less traditional and because church has become more like the world, why even go to church? And there's some people that are feeling that way. That's why you have a lot of churches literally cutting staff. You got a lot of people that are not being raised in the church. You got a lot of people not going to church, because some people feel, hey, church is either on one end not inviting enough and not understanding enough of people that are LGBTQ, that live a different lifestyle. They're not understanding enough when it comes to that. And then you got some people on the other end of that spectrum that are going to say, hey, y'all, anything goes now in church, so why go to church anyway? So I think the church is suffering from both of those issues, and they're unable to define themselves. And when it comes to that particular issue, I think that's where you look at it at, That's just
Am I
my
just the only one that feels that who you're sleeping with should not be something that everybody is discussing? If
well, see,
you,
but then that's
whatever
the thing.
weird stuff you're into, if you want to dress up like a woman and whatever it is, you should just do that and not involve everybody else. It does not have to be accepted for the entire world for what you want to do when you get underneath the sheet.
Exactly. And see, that's the thing. But the flip side of that, and people that are listening to this, they're going to say, well, why do y'all feel like y'all got to force what y'all want to do on everybody else? And there's the rub. You got people that are doing whatever they want to do, and they can do it. But then you got some people that are saying, now you're forcing that on us. You want us to tell our kids it's okay to do that. When that might not be what we believe in. So that's where you're having the issue. I'm not trying to legislate.
I don't want to feel like I have to like call you a woman if you're not a woman. I don't feel like you have to like force me to say that you're this if you're not.
That's what I'm saying. That kind of stuff.
I don't want no one telling me to tell you to try to monitor my voice because you want to do something, because whatever thing that you want to do. I don't like that.
And I don't want to delve too much into this, because we had a lot of questions. We have a huge show. We've had a lot of people talking about things, and I didn't want to go too far into that, but we want to answer everybody's questions when it comes to law, politics, and religion. We have different opinions. There are pastors that feel like Baba. There's pastors that completely go the opposite direction and say, no, I'm on the other end of that. This is what I believe. I believe that scripture is scripture. And I believe that it's strict and it's right here and it's right there. You got other people that say, no. I believe what Baba says. And so there's always going to be the rub of the way that people approach that. But I'm glad that we're dealing with that, and we're dealing with that now. In terms of politics, what I will tell you is, because this is the issue, in terms of politics, you got people that now politics has become involved, in a sense, to some people, too much in religion. And so once again, there you have your problems, because a lot of people are saying that issues that stem from that stuff has leaked into what we should do as Black people. Like, for example, now that if you're a Democrat and you got 80 or 90% voting Democrat, and then you got some stuff over to the far left that you don't agree with, that's why those Democrats are starting to say, you know what? They're doing too much over there. I'm more conservative. I haven't saw change in 50, 60 years. I'm going to go in that other direction now. So I definitely understand that.
Well, you got people now that are switching parties midstream. You got Republicans going Democrats. You got Democrats going Republicans, all because of what they believe, not what they know, but what they believe. And that's the danger of it, you know, and then how what you believe affects somebody else. Now, I all time tell people, coming through the school of thought that I came through group, you said, well, I'm not racist. I'm racist, but I'm not a bigot. I'm gonna say it again. I studied the race to better understand my opponent, but I'm not a bigot. Racism is like being a biologist, a scientist. One does a study. That was Doc Ben taught us. But I am not a bigot. See, and that's the difference. I'm not trying to hinder your progress, but I want to get to know you so I know what I can deal with you or accept you. Because if I understand your ways and your customs, I'm less likely to offend you.
Exactly. And I definitely
do you
understand.
think that, like, lately that people are being more racist and
See,
also do you feel that
that's the word we got to watch. The word racist.
The one, okay.
A racist. You study the racist, but you're not a bigot. You're not hindering my progress, but you are getting to know me. How else can we come together if best we can understand? We study the opponent in the military. When you go in the military, we study the person, our enemy, to know how he thinks, functions, what he smells like, what he eats. You understand? To be acquainted with what I'm dealing with. So when I run into him, I know how to deal with him. You understand? We don't know, and among the Blacks, us, we have a caste system that we don't understand each other. For years, you had the lights against the dark, and the dark, all this, and we don't know each other enough to study each other in our own culture, you know. And so Doc Ben taught us, you got to watch the word you embrace. We say, well, you're racist. That sounds bad, but if I'm studying you to know how to work with you, be harmonized, am I right or wrong?
I definitely understand that. And see, those are things where we got to be careful, and there are little nuances.
Right.
I want to go to some of the comments. He said we can love our neighbors and not agree. We don't have to broadcast our sexual orientation. And see, that's a lot of people feel that way. You don't always have to bring sexual orientation into conversations in schools, and sometimes even in the politics. In addition to that, I think America has lost the ability to peacefully disagree.
Yeah.
When I say peacefully disagree, because I disagree with you does not make you my enemy.
No.
And I think we've passed that point to where when you disagree with, if I go and I openly disagree with you and we're in Congress, now I'm going to get rid of your seat. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. I'm using that as an example because that's where we got to be careful. Now, I don't care if you listen. You got the numbers to win, take them numbers and win. But it's okay. But because we disagree, now we're doing stuff to each other. Now we're hating each other. And that's where we got to be extremely careful about. And that's why when we talk on our show, we talk about the legal part of it. Race plays a part in it. And when it comes to politics right now, there's a lot going on politically, especially when it comes to people of color, that there are great concerns about right now. Mel, what are you thinking about? What are you thinking about, Mel, right now?
These comments are flying. I'm trying to get them all, like, but they're flying. Sorry, guys.
Okay, so as far as I thought Pamela had a great comment. She says it is a biological fact that people are born with both sex organs, or females with high testosterone levels and boys born with high estrogen levels.
And I get that. Let me tell you what happened to me earlier this year when it came to Amon Khalif, the boxer or whatnot. I just said, if I had a daughter, I would not let my daughter box somebody at that level because I'm concerned about my daughter's safety, because I don't know. It wasn't against that person, right? I had somebody from the Alphabet Mafia post my comments and then make it seem like I was some crazy, really aggressively bigoted person who discriminated against her child. And I was just like, that kind of stuff that I've seen from the far left concerns me, because it's one of those things where if you don't agree with something, then all of a sudden you're A, B, and C. And I think when I'm a black man in the Democratic Party who has always supported people to be able to live their lives like they want to do what they want to do, and to be attacked like that by somebody that's supposed to be in the same camp that I'm in, that's why we got to start thinking about stuff as a people. Now, some people say, well, y'all being selfish. No, if I see people like myself, other African Americans families start to suffer because one party is doing stuff too far to the left all the time, I have to say something. We need to figure out how we can take a platform that's going to win, as opposed to continuing to do what we're doing, because what we're doing is not working. We're losing power. You're losing seats. You're losing the ability to have your voices heard. And there's a lot of black folks, to Queen's credit, are saying, no, I'm not. Y'all gonna course correct, or more of us is gonna go over there. So we're at a really trying point. A lot of people won't have this conversation when it comes to sexuality, politics, Democratic Party, Republican Party. I'm gonna say, hey, look, let's have the conversation. We got to talk about it.
And that's what we need to do.
We got to talk about it.
And we need to do this. And that's what we don't do. Rather than have a conversation, we're too busy arguing at people and fussing at what we heard and not listening to one another. We're going to have to learn to not only hear to all, but listen to learn. And we're not doing that. And we spend too much time arguing over yesterday and not concerned about what's going on now.
That's right, y'all. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right, Baba.
Hingle says, I'm gay, but I do not support policing everyone's speech. It's ridiculous.
And see, that's the thing. Like, you got some gay people that will say, hey, man, I'm not into all of that. Policing everybody's speech. I'm fine. So what, you don't call me A, B, and C. I'm not worried about that. Even within that community, there's some people that don't agree with everything that's happening there. I remember Dave Chappelle got in trouble because he was actually met a trans person that liked his comedy and that was saying, you know what? We ought to be, everybody else gets jokes thrown at him. We could take jokes too. And he developed a relationship with that person, and he watched that community attack that person. And he came to an understanding of people in that community, as well as he met a person that lived that lifestyle that he actually liked. So those are the things that we got to really have a conversation about, and we got to start getting comfortable talking about. Like, even tonight, a lot of people are scared to talk about LGBTQ issues because they might be labeled anti this, anti that. No, look, I got people that might watch this. I know people that are gay. I'm friends with some of these folks. I know a couple that's married. Whatever they do is what they do. But let's have a conversation about it. Let's get an understanding about certain things in that community that we like and maybe that we don't like, and be able to say it. Y'all gonna tell us over here what you don't like about us. We ought to be able to tell you what we don't like about y'all. And that's just the truth. You don't like it, too bad. But we're willing to have this conversation on our show, and I'm glad that we're actually having it.
Clint Bryan said this country was never divided like this until Trump came around.
That's not true.
That's not true.
I want.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Let's let Reverend Green go.
Yeah, he's been here many. He ain't got a chance to speak. What's going on, Rev?
Hello, Attorney Calvin. Hello, Mr. Mel.
Hey, how are you?
Hello, everybody. Yeah, I think the problem of what we're discussing,
Yes.
being canceled, the fear should be over by now. You know, the LGBTQ movement has definitely subverted the church, the schools, the bathrooms, the household. There's a verse in the Bible that speaks about the rainbow in the book of Genesis. Around Genesis 9:13, it speaks about, I set my bow in a cloud,
Mm-hmm.
and it shall be a sign for a covenant between me and the earth. One thing that Satan does is mocks God. They do things in reverse. Everything that Satan does is in reverse. 3 o'clock should be the hour where Jesus gave up the ghost. But 3 o'clock in the morning, that's exactly when they get busy. And so they took this rainbow symbol, and it's definitely pedophilic related, unfortunately.
And Reverend Green, I will tell you this. I listen to a lot of religious podcasts. I've heard this conversation had on numerous occasions. And once again, we appreciate you coming on and being able to speak from the position that you definitely have, because we want to be able to actually come on and have people that feel like you feel, being able to say what you say, and based on your belief in the doctrine. And then Baba maybe sees things another way, or I mean, there are other pastors that see things another way. I'm glad that we're actually having this conversation now, so that people are not afraid. And one thing I'll tell you about the legal review, and me and Mel have been doing this now for about 3 months.
I love it.
I appreciate it. And because we're not going to always be all to the left or all to the right. We're not here to come on and just not listen to people on the other side. If the MAGA people listen to us, we read your comments as long as they're respectful. We may not agree with you.
Jesse Jackson messed up the rainbow. That's hilarious.
Well, see,
No,
I
he
know,
did.
but the other side of it is we read the other side's comments, we read your side's comments. We're here a place to have a conversation. And if you want to learn stuff legally, if you truly want to learn more and do more, and you want to be able to talk openly and freely, the weekly legal review is a place for you to be. But I'm telling y'all, listen, it's 2 hours in. Being honest with y'all, okay, I got to go to work tomorrow.
I know that.
We try to keep it about 2 hours strong, but we're going to be doing this, y'all, every week. 8 p.m. Mel, is 8 p.m. New York time, right?
Yes.
And it's going to be 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we're going to do 2 hours. Sometimes we'll do a little bit more than 2 hours. But today, I got to have Mel take us out because it's at the 2 hour point. If you didn't get to make comments this time, I know, Queen, we're going to bring you back again.
I'm okay.
We'll continue this conversation later.
You want to have people wrap it up and then,
yes.
Words.
But Mel, go ahead and wrap it up for us tonight, man, and tell us what you wanted, what you think we're going to do next time, and let the people know my information, the Cash App, because we want to get that up, as well as we're going to be doing this again. Baba, we definitely going to invite you back. Queen,
I love it.
Back. Reverend Green, great point of view, great way to have that discussion, because I've heard people have the discussion that way, and we want people to feel free to come on this podcast that feel like you feel, as well as feel like Baba feels. So we appreciate everybody that's come home. I'm gonna have Mel take us out now.
All right. Before I do that, DJ Genesis, do you want to put up his Cash App? I haven't seen it up. Maybe I'm missing it.
Yeah, I put it up a few times, but I'll put it up again.
Okay, thank you.
So we're not gonna go around and give final words. We're just going straight to Mel, and that's it.
Yeah, we're going straight to Mel, and that's it. Because listen, honestly, y'all, it's 2 hours, and like I said, I got to you know, I have to get out of here, and people also, it's getting late at night. People got to get up and go in the morning. We do this every week, so whatever we don't finish tonight, we can come back and hit it next week.
All right, good deal. All right, so thank you guys. Please hit the like button, share, and subscribe if you like the show tonight. We really do appreciate having you guys. We have a show every day at noon. We go over the latest news to keep you abreast with what's happening in the world, and we appreciate all the comments. It's so nice for us to be able to have a criminal defense attorney, Calvin Johnson, come on every week. We know his time is very valuable, but he comes on and he helps us to understand the legal perspective when it comes to what's happening in the world. And it's so nice for you to be able to ask him these pointed questions and get real life answers from a legal point of view. So thank you to everybody that's supporting us. It's such a tremendous help, and the amazing moderators that we have as well. We definitely thank everything that you did tonight. And we definitely will be seeing you guys next week, Sunday night at 8 p.m. as well. We'll have Calvin back on. But tomorrow at noon, we'll be here going through the latest news clips. We hope to see you then. And thank you all for your participation. We will definitely catch you soon. Thank you.
And one quick thing is, please go and check out at DJ Genesis Detroit. I'm in the background. I don't say much, but, you know, please support my channel. I just am the background producer of it all, but, you know, please come and support my channel, because, you know, YouTube has been not promoting my stuff. So if you get a chance, at DJ is at the top of this thing, please come to my channel, right? Because, you know, that's when I need you guys to like support me. All right. So
no wrong with that, Genesis. That's with DJ Genesis Detroit. You got Goddess Queen over there at 6'2". You got Attorney Calvin E. Johnson, and you got Mel watching the world 777.
Did he said it? Yep.
Go and support all of these channels, y'all. Listen, y'all see how real we are. We work together. We're great. We love y'all, and we definitely are going to be seeing y'all next week. Same bat time, same bat place. Take care, y'all.
Ashe. All right, peace, guys.